kind of run around as it's going with the menu. Let me check the message here, and I'm good to go. Awesome. Okay. Hey everyone, it's me yet again. It is me yet again. If you remember me last time, I choked during a Dead Rising run. I mispredicted my enemies, but I'll have you know right now, my Silent Hill 2 game has safety saves. First, let me just reboot it just to make sure we're good. I did have to reboot it, so let me just redo that. Should be the exact same size. And before I do it, I have to do a few options just to make sure we're good, because there's a few technical things I have to do here. One, and I want to go directional. We're going to be playing on the PC version, mainly because it's a bit better for what we want to do here. And let me just move one more thing here. There we go. I want to make sure the window's all nice and dandy. And this run is going to be normal. And what normal means is we play on normal action level and normal riddle level. Anyway, if we are ready to start, I can count it down. I'm going to count it down right now. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, go. Anyway, Silent Hill 2 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. We're just going to be going for any ending here. We don't really care which one. Oh, come on, let me get the glitch. And we're already going to open the game with a nice text glitch. Silent Hill 2 is a bit of a unique game to where there's not a lot of games that are able to break the game using, I guess, saves. We're going to be saving the game a lot. If anyone wants to predict how many times we're going to be saving the game, I'm going to give you a hint. It's a lot. Usually ends up being around like about 1,300 or so, depending on the runner and how much they mash it. Now, why do I keep saving this game? I'm going to be saving the game a lot, primarily because by saving the game, I'm replenishing all of my stamina. Between Silent Hill 1 and 2, they made some changes. Silent Hill 2 moves much more fluid, but they made James have a stamina system because it makes perfect sense that your average man would not be able to run for miles on end without being tired. That being said, the game is going to be mostly running through this town. Like so. And I want to stay at 100% stamina. Saving the game also can bug out the game potentially, so I want to make sure I don't do that. And there's also, there is loading the game, but it doesn't really come up throughout the run for the most part. There's one part of the game will come up with loading, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Anyway, during all the cutscenes, we're also going to skip it. Also, I do want to make a quick note as well. Competitively, Silent Hill 2 normally does not use a real timer, but we'll be able to find out what we actually got at the end of the game because all runs are decided by the final ending card and whatever the time is. So it doesn't really matter how good or bad you may think you're doing. You may never know until the end of the game. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a glitch momentarily, and it's going to allow me to skip a lot of the cutscenes in this game. There's also a little chainsaw here. I'm not going to pick it up because that's a New Game Plus item. And we're doing New Game Normal. Now, what does Normal do that the other categories don't? Normal requires you to interact with the fights essentially at the hardest level possible. It is, well, not the hardest level possible, but it makes the fights more difficult than any % or the other categories. Which normally dog, UFO, you don't see the end fights. Because I think there's a few fights in this game that are really fun to interact with, but you need to have the proper technique. Also, the early game is a lot of running, so I'm just kind of throwing basic knowledge at this point, just because if you don't know Silent Hill 2, I highly recommend it. It's such a good game. That being said, even if you watch the speedrun, you're not going to be overtly spoiled. We avoid most of the spoilers. I'm going to talk to the door, and there's no reason to go back because I'm going to look for Mary. We're going to use this justification to run past everything in the game, and I mean everything. Once again, text is going to allow us to just bypass a lot of things in this game, like just other text and even loading things in. By having this here constantly, the game effectively is not loading in anything. We'll notice coming up that certain things are not going to be loaded in, and it's also going to allow me to skip forced dialogue. I'm going to pass by a wooden board, and that is going to make me grab another wooden board and the radio. However, I don't want the radio because this is not Silent Hill 1. We're not going to make a big exclamation about radio. Something's happening with that radio. We're not going to do that because this is Silent Hill 2. There's also another big fight coming up, but I'm going to run right past it instead of interacting with it because, again, it would take way too long in comparison. This way is much faster and much better by far. So I will just keep running like so. There's a few ways of playing this game. A lot of the top runners end up using controller on PC, but all Silent Hill 2 speedruns are going to be done on PC for most of the good runners. The game isn't as competitive on console because quick saving isn't a thing. If quick saving was a thing on console, it would likely be more competitive, but because it's not, it doesn't see as much gameplay. Also, I want to show you how the text is working. You're going to notice there's going to be some black squares on the ground coming up, kind of on the left side, just kind of like dirt, kind of like that. The next one we see, pay close attention to it. You might see something pop out. So I'm going to run past this next one coming up, and here we are. Right, there it is, and it's actually a car. It's actually a car. So now that I let go of it, everything is loaded back in. It doesn't really mean that much. The only thing, though, is we can't save the game while picking an item, and we need our first item over here, and that's going to be the key to the apartments. One of the sad parts about Silent Hill is a lot of people who play this game end up dropping it around this area, because the apartments are arguably one of the more boring levels of the game. I kind of like it in a speedrunning sense, but I also understand. I remember one of the earlier times I played this, I did kind of give up around the apartments, but I got back on it, and I enjoyed this game. Honestly, one of the best horror games ever made. Also, if you guys are wondering as well, why did I do Dead Rising and then Silent Hill 2? I'm a horror speedrunner. I do exclusively horror games. They're pretty fun, and it's a niche not a lot of people touch on. Anyway, we're finally going to be able to start going through rooms, and we don't have to run in the street anymore. We're finally going to break into the apartments. And they're going to be all the way down here. Here we go. It should be after this dumpster, and we're good to go. Alright, and now we're entering the apartments. And now we're going to want to make sure we have good room movement. I play the game in a directional setting because it's going to allow me to turn on a dime. It's an upside that you don't always see, because as you know, a lot of these old school horror games use tank controls. But in most areas of the game, I don't want to use tank controls. Also on the inside, I'm not going to be saving as much because I don't need to. The save is mostly going to be in regards to preserving stamina. However, anytime I enter a doorway, I'll be preserving that stamina. Anyway, before we go into the next area, I'm also going to have to do a few things in order to trigger events. So I'm going to have to go upstairs, I'm going to have to grab a key and not grab it, and then I'm going to have to get a gun. Because that's where the shots start getting fired. And it should be this one down here. And we need our first gun. There we go. And the pistol will see some action in a moment, guys. I know this is shots fired, and we're all looking for that pistol action. I assure you we'll definitely be getting some pistol action very quick. After we pick up this key and not actually pick it up. I also have to be careful about the amount of ammo I grab, because I'm going to need a very specific amount. I could grab more, but it's wasteful to grab any more than I need. Also, we're about to hear me during that last run. Hey, look, it's me. Also, I hope you guys like, I guess, a sense of dread, because there's old buddy, old pal, Pyramid Head. pH. You gotta check your pH balance, guys. The Pyramid Head balance. And don't you worry, we're gonna be interacting with him a lot. And we'll keep running as well. Dodge him, right here. And we're gonna have to go get the clock tower key, or the big clock key, and that's gonna allow us to get into the next area of the apartments. Most of the rooms here are going to be optimal movement, gathering items. It'll be nice. And we'll see some clock RNG coming up. And if I'm lucky, the clock key is going to be in a very good spot. I'm going to have to be a bit careful, because if it's not a good spot, it's just massive time loss that there's not really much you can do about it. Ideally, I want the hour hand to be on the 11 or the 7. If it's on the 9, that's even better, but it doesn't ever spawn on 9, really. It can. It's kind of random on how it spawns, but we'll see in a moment. Also, clock key. Here we go. And it actually spawned perfectly. That was on the 10. Wow. That is the exact opposite of my Dead Rising luck, because now that we immediately got that. And that is way faster in that regard. And now I can start moving on some more. That was an extremely good clock. Wow. That normally is not supposed to happen. Alright, we got the first set of ammo, and we're able to run down a bit. I hope you guys like graphic horror scenes, because we're about to have one. Here we go. He's just violating those mannequins. We actually shoot him in the cutscene, but we don't want to watch cutscenes because it takes too much time to watch them. This is a speed run after all, but we can pick up the key while we're here. And then we'll run back. I'll make sure I grab more health than normal, because again, we all know what happened last time I told myself I wasn't going to pick up health during a marathon. I'll give you a hint. I got run over by an angry Latina woman. several times. Really, it's just an aspect of my life I should have been prepared for, because I am normally prepared for that. I don't mean in terms of the game, I just mean in terms of getting run over by angry Latino women. Anyway, all this area was also destined for us to grab some juice. Because we're going to absolutely need the canned juice. What kind of juice is it? I actually don't know. I don't really ask that question to myself. I like to believe it's some kind of like cranberry. Could be guava. I'm a big fan of guava juice, but that's just me. Like, I've ordered a lot of things that are guava just for the sake that it has guava in it, but that's just me. For all you know, it could be like orange juice or something. Anyway, the juice is necessary because it's the old horror logic where you have to do a few things or a few strange things in order to get a stranger item. So we're gonna have to dump the juice. I have to jump the juice into the vents in order for us to get a coin. There we go. Oh, come on, let's go back downstairs. We're also going to beat one of my best friends in this run. We're not going to talk to him too much here. But we're about to meet Eddie. And Eddie is probably one of my favorite characters in all of horror gaming. Also, we're finally going to whip out that gun of ours. There we go. And it just kind of does a small animation cancel there. Instead of having to pick ourselves up, we can just immediately stand up, which is much better. And then we can just keep running over to Eddie. There we go. Now let's go find Eddie right now. All Eddie's doing is puking on a toilet, and he's going to tell us how he had to shoot a dog, but we're not going to listen to that dialogue. Because do we really want to see Eddie puking on a toilet? If I wanted to watch a fat guy puke on a toilet, I'll look in a mirror. Anyway, let's go back. And also, we have to cash in on that juice. Because now we finally get to cash in on the juice. Another thing we had to do there is we had to activate the Eddie dialogue to fully get out of here. It's one of those things that you have to do in the run. And we also need the coin from over here and the coin from earlier. There we go. We also have to read the newspaper here, but I don't want to read it because it's too long. All it says is something about schoolmates burning or something. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I read that newspaper because I always skip it. But there will be some necessary information for me to remember later. I'm excited for the hospital. A lot of the times in the apartments, a lot of people end up dropping Silent Hill 2. It's a fun level, in my opinion. Like, I enjoy it personally. That's because I've played it a bunch of times. I do have to admit, though, a lot of the action does not take place in the apartments. Most of the action in this game comes later. And that is one of the downsides, I would argue. Anyway, we need to go downstairs now, because we need to grab a few things. We're also going to grab the rest of the ammo I talked about, because right now I have 2 clips of ammo. I'm going to need about 3. I need 4 full ones, and I'm going to need more for the boss fight. So I'm going to grab more ammo right here. Just kind of grab it, and then... Oh, come on. Can you... My camera! Grab the coin, and then we get out of here. And now I have about 30 shots on me. And I'm going to need a bit more. This way? No, this way. Okay, I'll be the door right over here. And we're going to be able to use the code with the coins in order to get everything. Because now we have all the coins. The coin puzzle is always the same, and most of these puzzles will be the same on normal, which is why we do the category this way. If you play the game on hard, some of these puzzles do change, or the order changes, and you have to actually watch the riddles instead of just memorizing them. But some of the puzzles here are going to be random, and we'll have to remember them. There we go. We got the key, and now I'm also going to grab the health kit here, because I want to be safe, rather safe than sorry. And we are going to go upstairs. And I'm going to get one more thing of ammo in a moment. And this thing of ammo is going to be imperative because we are going to have a boss fight coming up in a brief moment of time. I'll have you guys take a wild guess on who the boss fight might be. It's one of the few bosses we do in this game. Also, I'm going to grab a key, the apartment stair key. We're about to leave the apartments. We're almost done, and let's keep going. Do you have any guesses on who this crazy boss might be? It could be anyone. It could even be me. I'll give you a hint. It's not me. It's Pyramid Head. I want to make sure I shoot him about 36 times. Every time you hear a metal dink, I'm hitting him. So I want to keep hearing metal dinks. If it just has nothing, I'm not hitting him. I have to unload about 3.5 clips on him. There we go. The only time you really can't hit him is when he's pulling back like that. But now we can hit him. And we should be good as well. About 5 more shots, I'll do it. He'll miss me on this next one. There we go. And then I can load on right here. Okay, we did it, and that's the Pyramid Head fight. And we unloaded what? Anyone count those shots? It's about 35, 36. I don't want to get too close to him either, because if I get too close to Pyramid Head, he can actually bash me in the skull and immediately kill me. Like, I remember during this fight, I actually ran out of ammo, but another way of beating him is you can actually just run away for about 5 minutes, and it works. I guess running away actually is relevant to how much you damaged him, but that's the Pyramid Head fight in a nutshell. You can also just run in circles. And that's Pyramid Head. And now we can move on to the rest of the game and the chapters, and we're going to meet everyone's favorite characters. We're actually going to meet some characters for once. There we go, and now we're back into the streets and out of the apartments. Really, I think the game has a massive pickup after the apartments. We're also going to have more of the quick saving and running. We're going to have some cutscenes, but I'm also going to do a little fun, I guess, glitch, I suppose. It's kind of fun to see it. It really doesn't do much, but it's kind of funny to watch James just run away. So we're going to admire the sign coming up. Let's see, there's going to be a sign right here. We're going to admire it for a quick moment. Here's the sign. Hi, sign. Bye, sign. And then we can just run away. And if you want, you can run outside the entire area while it just stays there, because when you're saving the game, it kind of abuses it a bit. I can also, in theory, do it out of bounds, but I feel like I've done enough risky things for one day. I'll just do it the normal way. Anyway, now we have Maria, and Maria is not really that important to me, in all honesty. She's just gonna run. She's just gonna follow us. She'll be a bit useful, but she's not gonna be too crazy. We kind of need her for the hospital to make it through, and we're gonna need her in a few sections. I'm also gonna have to pick up a weapon in a moment here, because in order to pick up the weapon, I need the weapon, because if I don't pick it up, I will soft lock later on during this game. And I don't think we want to watch me soft lock later in the game. I've already messed up enough during the Dead Rising run. I don't want to mess up during Silent Hill. I'd rather, watch, this will be the run that I do perfectly, I PB on even. Meanwhile, the Dead Rising run's the one where I felt confident on, and I choked. Anyway, we got the steel pipe, and we're good to go. And we can just keep running. We're also going to get one of my favorite cutscenes ever. If we have, I can watch it. I gave myself a bit of a generous estimate, but you know what, Boyks, I'll leave it up to you. Can we watch the cutscene?
Did you find the lady you're looking for?
We can watch at least a bit of it.
Mary?
Maybe. It's going to happen right here. I'll play it safe, mainly because I think this is one of the best cutscenes in the game, and I really want to show it off. And I'll be grabbing a lot of health to make up for my mess-ups. I'm only playing it because it has the classic line that's absolutely important. Also, I want to go over something. Right now, Eddie is in the middle of a massive boss fight.
Are you alone here, Eddie?
The thing about Silent Hill is a lot of things in the game are manifestations of people's minds, so they don't see the monsters that James sees. That being said, what we're looking at right now is a perfectly normal pizza, but to Eddie, that could be Pizza the Hut. That could be a monstrous boss fight.
Eddie, let's go after her.
Huh?
But that's a good question. And I'll only go to the best line in the game,
Laura, is that her?
and it'll be coming up in a moment.
That's what she said.
Oh, we can also listen. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
The monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
Alright, there we go. That's fine. That's good enough. I just wanted to hear, how can you sit there and eat pizza? Really, I ask myself that question every night, but I never get an answer for myself. Anyway, we should be good to go. Because really, how can you sit there and eat pizza? It does make you think. Although we missed Eddie calling himself a gutless fatso, but I felt that one's a bit too sad. Listening to James asking how can he just sit there and eat pizza, see, that's thought-provoking stuff. Mainly because Eddie was in the middle of his own thought-provoking boss fight, and James was mocking him. And that will lead to a later point in the game. Anyway, most of this section is just going to be running. I'm kind of upset as well, because this is some of the coolest music in the game, and it's very short. The level's very short. We just run through here. This is Heaven's Night. We just entirely ignore the area and run past it. It's not really that developed of an area, if I'm being honest, and it's kind of sad. Anyway, we're going to be making our way to the hospital. And chat, I may actually ask you guys for your help here. If you guys want to be a part of the speedrun, we could do interactive speedrunning. So at home, on your keyboards, I'm going to be saying some numbers. If you want to type that out to either help me or harm me, feel free to go for it. We'll be having some random numbers in a brief moment here. And these numbers are imperative to the speedrun, because they are going to be used to solve a puzzle. I will remember them, but I want to make sure that we can all remember them together. And we're going to have to gather a few keys here. Also, just skip the note. Thank you. And I really don't want to chill with Maria as much. I actually learned recently that if you can somehow manage to get a certain ending, it saves a very small amount of time, but it's not really worth going for that ending. We're also going to be gathering a few things in the hospital. Another thing I want to mention as well is in the nature of Silent Hill, one of the big things that comes up is the nature of the types of worlds. So you have the overworld, you have the otherworld, and that's the thing with all the rust and just the changing thing. Here we go. We're about to get our first number right here. Should be back here. In this next row. Okay, guys, here's the first number. We'll see in a moment. Also, again, I'm picking up all the health kits because I'm not pulling a Dead Rising again. And the first number is going to be 9299. Wow. Are you kidding me? 9299? So, Dead Rising wants to absolutely body me, but Silent Hill gives me 9299 as my puzzle. That's absolutely amazing. I love that. Also, let's type the puzzle here. 9299. Perfect answer. That answer is always the same, by the way, if you're wondering. And we can just grab that and get out of here. I'm going to go into the roof now because we need to go over to the other side. We need to get bodied and we need to start the next area pretty quick. And onto the roof, we're going to explore some stuff. Hey guys, look, there's some books. And there's a fence. And there's a knife in my chest. Ouch. Anyway, we have 9299 and now we are going to have 3175. So those are the two numbers, 9299 and 3175. And these numbers are going to be used in a puzzle coming up. I also want to turn off my lights because the enemies in this game are light sensitive actually. So they can actually attack each other too, which I think is one of the funniest parts. So anyway, the numbers again are going to be 9299 and 3175. I also want to use the items here to combine them because now we have the keys. And now we can open this up. And we have some valuable treasure in here, guys. So first off, 9299, and we have 3175, and that's the puzzle. And now we picked up some hair. All of that for a piece of hair. You think, can we just use Maria's hair? Maybe. Juke you, get out of the way, thank you. And that was pretty easy, that was very good, and thank you chat for interacting. I hope that was a fun part of doing some Silent Hill 2 speedrunning. Now you can all be Silent Hill 2 speedrunners. Anyway, now we're in the elevator, and we want to go down to the first floor. We're about to hit another boss fight, and we'll have some more shots fired. Most of the shots being fired here will only be happening during the boss fights. I don't need to get more resources. We can just begin the fight. I should be able to do it with the amount of ammo I have. But worst case scenario, we can prepare a bit. I want to just be a bit careful. I want to get close. I want them to get close, but not too close. So right about here, back up a bit. Shoot. This should take roughly about 3 to 4 shots per. 3. That's 1. Here's 2. Oh, let go of me, please. Let go of me. And this is Flesh Lips. Flesh Lips is just a couple of bed frames, and they are not very kind to me, if you cannot tell. Okay, that's really good. That was a 3 and a 3, and we have one more bed frame coming out. This one's faster and stronger. That's the only difference. I guess he's more bed. He's more of a bed. If he could be any more of a bed, I suppose he is. And now we can just unload on him, and Flesh Lips is dead. That was an extremely good Flesh Lips, by the way. That was really good, and I'm very happy for that. And now we're in the Otherworld Silent Hill. That was also a great boss fight. See, these boss fights are going good, unlike the Dead Rising ones. There we go. But now I have to gather a few more items now. I'm going to go back here. I can grab another health kit. This one's for safekeeping, but I make sure to grab it because I don't want to risk anything. I can also grab a couple things there. I need a battery and a key. The battery's just an... Oh, come on. Luckily, I can just heal myself as you run. And again, I'm not risking anything here. No risk anymore. We're going to stay absolutely safe. And I need to run all the way down here because this is the only way up to the stairs. This is the only stairs we can take. And didn't we lose somebody? I don't know who she is, but we lost Maria, didn't we? We need to ask her why couldn't we take her hair. Also, fun fact about Silent Hill Maria in general. Given the time frame Silent Hill 2 came out, which is about 2001 to 2002, think about who Maria might look like for a second. I'll give you a hint. She was in a very popular movie with ogres. If you're still wondering, the answer is Cameron Diaz. Her model is based off of Cameron Diaz. There's your Silent Hill 2 fun fact. See, that's the kind of fun fact you want to hear about. Maria being based off Cameron Diaz. Not about the repressed sexuality and all the other fun stuff. Nah, let's go for just the very lighthearted facts. Okay, we're going to go into the elevator again because we needed Maria for a specific room. If we didn't have Maria, we would not be able to push open a fridge. And that's the entire reason why we need Maria. Also, Maria is a brave young woman who will be able to assist us. She's a strong woman, and we're only the average James. Although James is seen as kind of a musclehead, but he still can't lift up the fridge, so that's why we need Maria. We also need the wedding rings, or I guess the lead ring and the copper ring. We got them both right now. We should be good. And now we can go to the next area. Oh, come on. There we go. We'll also have another, I guess, a mini boss fight. There's actually a way of skipping it, but we don't really need to because this is normal. On hard, you actually do a glitch to skip the boss fight, but we're just going to do it. I'm going to put on the rings. 1 and 2. Again, it's one of those weird puzzles, and we're going to run down the stairs. We're going to see some long stairs, but not the longest stairs in the game, surprisingly. I mean, these are some long stairs coming up right now. Watch. Look at these long stairs. They're rather long, but not the longest in the game. Okay, now I'm just going to run away. We need Maria because she's the perfect tank. I mean, I'm the DPS, she's the tank. She's gonna just accept all the Pyramid Head strikes while I just kind of chill out. I think she can do it. Look at her. She's bodying Pyramid Head already. She's doing way better than I ever could, really. Alright, and then we just leave her for dead because she did good. Thank you, Maria. I will never forget you. You saved me. And now we need to grab the map and the key. Also, I hope you guys like running in the streets, because we're going to be doing that again. It'll be a lot of running, a lot of saving, but I will do another one of those fun skips where I use text to skip cutscenes that we don't want to watch. Because really, do you guys want to watch cutscenes? I feel like with all the runs we've already done, you guys have probably watched a lot of cutscenes, so if I can minimize any of them outside of ones that are about pizza, I mean, I'm more than happy to do so. But if it's about pizza, maybe we let that cutscene slide. Maybe. That being said, though, the beginning part of this is mainly just going to be running through the streets, but we will have some interesting technique coming out. This is also the last street running in the game, so it's a pretty just chill section, nothing too crazy happening here. If you guys just want to reflect on the idea of shots fired and what it's doing, I think it's a pretty fun marathon. I know I've been watching a bit of it. I'll talk a bit about the shots fired marathon in general while walking through these streets. Because realistically, I can do some lore drops of Silent Hill 2, but for a lot of you, I imagine this may be your first exposure to Silent Hill 2, and I really am not a fan of spoiling major story parts of this game at all. That being said, this is also my third run in the shots fired marathon. I was not expecting to get even one run in, but I got 3. But, I mean, they all have their little hiccups. Surprisingly, this has also been the best one. I'm feeling really good during my Silent Hill run. Meanwhile, my Dead Rising one, which I thought would be the best, was not. That being said, as well, I definitely just make sure you check out a lot of the guys. They've been really good. Anyway, we are going to be able to make our way to the actual section that has technique. And we'll meet these guys right here. They exist in 2 parts of the game. Right here and at the end of the game. We literally don't see these guys again until the end of the game. They only exist in 2 parts. I don't get why either. It's kind of weird. And now I can open the gate here. And I'm going to do something in particular. So I'm going to turn off my light. It's going to be too dark to read the map. And it's too dark to read every single cutscene that we're going to interact with. Why are we not going to interact with these cutscenes? Because it's too dark to read them. That's the entire reason why. And also, I love this as well. People usually tell me, hey, it's too dark to read the cutscene. It's too dark to read the running. And the reason why I have to do this is because this is a really bad cutscene to where they will forcibly pull you out of the area. There's one spot that we're not going to have to do this during this loaded zone, but we're going to have to do it immediately after we grab the item we need. We do it very tactically. This won't be the last time we do this glitch, but this glitch does end up saving a lot of time, and this is also why the PC version is the superior version by far. Mainly because this skips a lot of time in comparison to the just the console version. Don't get me wrong, like I first played this game on the console, but still. Also, there we go. Grab the wrench. And then we run back down. And now it is once again too dark to read the map. And now we can run back. We need the wrench or else we can't make it to the end game. And we have to be absolutely sure that we can make it to the end game. I mean, that would be embarrassing if I got ran over like about 5 times in a row by an angry Latina woman. That'd be absolutely embarrassing, and I would be ashamed of the Silent Hill community right now if that happened. But we should be fine right now. And going on into this game as well, one thing I do give Silent Hill 1 more praise on is there's a lot less running in the streets in that game. Also, I am tempted to do the out of bounds, but I know I can do way better without doing the out of bounds, because the out of bounds is an awkward trick. I found out about it recently, but apparently it saves a decent chunk of time. But in theory, it's about 20 seconds of time save if I get it, and it's also kind of interesting, but getting it is very, very difficult. I have a few saves on it, and I can show the out of bounds if we have time. That's what I'll do. If we have time after it and we need to kill time, I'll do that. Because I don't want to waste any more time than I already have. There we go. Anyway, the door loaded back in, and now you don't have to worry about it being too dark to read cutscenes anymore. We're now once again free to watch any cutscenes in any maps. That being said, we have to get to the prison, and then the game picks up once again. Personally, I think the prison is probably my favorite level this entire game. Like, I really like the hospital, but playing it, the prison's my favorite level. In terms of my entire favorite level, and everything, the hotel by far. Like, the end game of this is so good. Like, I can't recommend it enough. I can't commend it enough. The end game of Silent Hill 2 is absolutely amazing. I can't name as many games that have an amazing end game as Silent Hill 2. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely a few, and it's also kind of an opinion thing as well, but this game just has an extremely solid end game. Everything at this point on, oh, come on. Everything at this point on is very, very nice. Also, this is why we need the wrench, because we need a key. And this is all part of the note from earlier. You'd have to be referencing the map to make sure you're all good. And also, another thing I want to talk about with movement is whenever you change the camera angle, it actually carries over your movement. So most of the time I'm holding down the same button and then changing my angle, and that will happen a lot. So one thing that happens between good runners and bad runners is just the basic movement. A lot of horror games in general, you'll notice there's not going to be some massive skips that, good runners can do this massive skip, while bad runners cannot. No, it's going to be a thing where good runners remember to adjust their movement, bad runners don't do that. And that's ultimately how Silent Hill speedruns do end up working, and you can end up saving a lot of time. Funny enough, during my push for shots fired, I actually managed to bring my PB up for about 5 minutes or so. I did really good, although it was the first time I actually cared about my Silent Hill 2 PB. I honestly want to say, though, of all the games I prepared for shots fired, I probably worked on this one the most. And I don't know why, either. Maybe it's because I felt I was the least prepared on this one, but I probably should have done more on Dead Rising. That being said, we are almost done with the street running, and we are getting there. Another thing I want to mention in terms of just Silent Hill 2 or just Silent Hill facts in general, if you want to play this, don't buy the HD collection. The HD collection is very, very bad. I think the worst offense that comes up is the HD collection replaced the Silent Hill sign, like the Welcome to Silent Hill sign, with Comic Sans. It went from whatever the Silent Hill font was to Comic Sans. Like, honestly, when I think horror, I don't think Comic Sans. I think, oh, this game's gonna kill me. I don't think Comic Sans. Also, remember how I said we had some really long stairs coming up? Guess how long these stairs are. Also, I can literally talk the entire time while going down these stairs. It is going to be quite a while. If anyone wants to time it, feel free. It's long. That's how long it is. But this is the signifier of finally getting to the better parts of this game. We also do have a few more boss fights coming up. As you notice, most of the times that we end up firing the guns during this run are during the boss fights. The only categories that you really want to fire the guns at normal monsters are going to be 10-star. Because 10-star, you have to kill a certain amount of monsters and do a certain amount of item pickups. Meanwhile, in this category, it's mainly about optimal boss fights and avoiding the enemies, because shooting most of them take too long. However, I will say there is one enemy I'll make sure I shoot. There is one. There we go. And now we can just run forward. And then we can also do this. This is also why I needed the lead pipe. We're going to need it for this section. Here we go. And now we're back to speedrunning. We're out of the streets, and now we go back to speedrun. I'm going to go over here, and this is why we need the pipe. If I didn't have the pipe, I would not be able to do this. I would have soft-locked myself. Also, now I can finally get back to technique and running. We've dodged monsters, we do a lot more. And we're actually going to hit another, kind of a minor skip. This is called the bug room skip. And it's the only time we're permitted to load during the entire game. The reason being is if I don't do it, I have to do a RNG puzzle, which I really don't want to do. So I'm going to quick save, quick load, and then exit the room. The problem is the moment you pick that key, the door locks, and you have to type in a key code to escape. Meanwhile, with this, I can just use the spiral writing key, and now we're out. And that is the bug room skip. And now we're down. And then I need to grab a few tablets, and we'll have more item gathering and movement coming up. I also grabbed the health drink just for safety. I want to make sure I'm safe. And these next two rooms are going to be a bit interesting. Now the game is going to get a lot tighter in the corners. I want to be very careful. I have to run by these guys. These guys are kind of annoying as well because they're really good at botting you and stunning you. Ooh, I dodged him. Alright, we're good. That guy in particular is a bit rough. And again, I want to run with my lights off because if I don't do that, they'll see me, and I don't want that happening. I also want to make sure I'm entering certain jail cells because I need to gather all the items necessary to escape this section. Really, we can immediately move to the next station, the next section, but I need the items first. So if I don't have them, I can't do it. We're gonna get the next one over here, and we're actually gonna get locked in this cage as well. Because now we're in jail, we get the tablet. You just have to push like 3 times and you're out. Also, we're gonna be able to run over here, and now we can go get the next key for the next part. I'm also gonna combine some items, and in all honesty, guys, we're about to combine these tablets. Oh, not here. Messed that up a bit. There we go. We're going to combine the tablets and use them. And if you're wondering, this was me when Isabella murdered me in Dead Rising. Right here. Alright, we had to do that solely so we can get a horseshoe. Because this is, again, we're gathering a bunch of weird items in order to progress the game. We needed glue, we need a lighter, and we need a horseshoe. Solely so we can make a handle. Overall, the movement in this section has been very good, though. I'm pretty happy with my room's been nice. We got the lighter. And we're about to enter my favorite one of my favorite levels in the game in terms of playing. And that's going to be the Labyrinth. Because the Labyrinth has a lot to do. Oh, I forgot. I messed up the area slightly. There we go. Not the battery. Combine. There we go. And now we just melt the wax in here. And now we have a handle for this thing right here. There we go. And in we go. And now we're entering the Labyrinth. We have another long elevator ride down. It won't be too long, but it is a bit of time. Luckily, during that elevator ride, we'll be able to get more ammo and some health, so it's pretty nice. And I can talk about what's about to happen. So during this next section is actually one of the major areas there's a routing change. Because in easy, just any percent, we don't go for what we're about to get. We're going to grab a special weapon to help us out later on. I'm sorry to say it's not going to be a gun. It'll be a melee weapon. But I guarantee we will still be using at least one more boss fight worth of shots. But during one of the fights, it's going to be absolutely imperative that we use a different weapon. Because it's honestly a pretty strong weapon. It's just we can't use it all the time because it's a bit big. But it's the main difference between normal and any percent. If we didn't have this weapon, the fights would just take way too long and they'd be way more difficult. I'm pretty sure any percent would be the more popular category by far if this weapon technique was not a thing. Anyway, we're almost down the elevator and we can begin the Labyrinth. Also, in addition to the Labyrinth, I do want to mention as well the normal difficulty. A lot of the puzzles that we're going to be seeing, they're always going to have the same answer. If we played on hard, it would be randomized, and you'd have to just kind of work out the puzzle and hope for the best. Alright, let's go into the Labyrinth now. We're also going to have some RNG areas as well, and I personally like the RNG areas, but I do understand that RNG it can be a bit of a hellhole sometimes. Also, we're going to meet an old friend. You guys remember this guy? It's Pyramid Head. What we're going to be doing is we're running over here, and we're going to steal Pyramid Head's sword. And we're going to leave. Because I need Pyramid Head's sword. It's a very strong weapon, and it'll help me later on in the game. It's imperative that we get it. And now we can run over here and continue through the Labyrinth. In addition to that, I want to make sure I remember where I'm going. The Labyrinth can get very confusing, especially if it's your first time playing. But most of the patterns are going to be the same as long as you remember. There's some hallways that are a bit awkward passing the guys right here. But for the most part, the Labyrinth is just one of the more fun movement sections of the game. Excuse me. You also have this puzzle, which is this way. And then we're going to meet Maria once again. Hi, Maria. There she is. And then we leave. And the only reason we have to do this is so we can get a pair of pliers. Because this is part of the game that always confuses me. So we need pliers, right? We're going to need these pliers, and what never made sense to me is the fact that you need pliers when we just picked up a great knife. Like, couldn't we use the great knife instead of pliers? I feel like the great knife kind of just has in its name that it can chop things down. We literally just need pliers to cut down, or I guess wire cutters, for this. So we can chop that down. I'm pretty sure a great knife can cut wire. Last I checked. I mean, it is a knife, and it is great. But I guess not. Maybe that's not its design purpose. Anyway, we're about to bop a guy in the back of the head because he's just blocking the path. It's going to be this guy right here. I'll get a pistol out so we can shoot him. Because we don't want those shots... Oh, can I get my pistol out? No, not that. Move. Hey, buddy. Move. 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 Hey, buddy. Move. Thank you. Hey, buddy. I need you to move. Buddy. Thank you. He did not want to budge, did he? Usually I bop him in the head because it's funnier, but this is shots fired, so we have to be relevant, right? Also, we haven't seen some pistol action in a while, so it might be a good idea to see some pistol action. Let's go. Oh, that was a really good spawn on this guy. That was an extremely good spawn. And now we are going to end up in another area here, and we will be nearing the boss fight. After this next room. The boss fight is coming up, but I don't want to do it. So what I'm going to do instead is it's too dark to read the boss fight. I'm going to just skip this hallway and avoid the boss, which is also known as Abstract Daddy. In addition, I'm going to save right here just in case. I'll be a safety save. I'm going to do something called Blind Arsonist right now. I'm going to go over here, pull this one. That's what I think it is. It's going to be one of these 6. Now, what am I saying Blind Arsonist? We're going to see some guys hanging in a moment. If I got it right, they'll be a key. I did not get Blind Arsonist, but let's see what they did. This man was hanging for kidnapping. How about you? Thievery. Murder. Okay, how about you? Swindling. Wow, last one. Keep in mind, they were hung both for swindling and arson. If you're wondering how I knew the guy in the corner was arson, because I already knew the guy in the top right was not arson. So it must be this one. Also, I like how they all get hung for the same crime. They get hung, like someone's got hung for swindling. I mean, I'm pretty sure swindling $5 is not equivalent to burning down someone's house, but I could be wrong. I've never swindled somebody or burned down someone's house, so I don't really know the punishment. Anyway, it's called Blind Arsonist because in theory you could get that entire puzzle just the first time around and skip the extra trick back. And all the extra trip really makes you do is just traverse through enemies. It's a punishment for failing. And now I can go on. And we will be hitting another boss fight. They actually chained really 2 boss fights really close together. And that will be coming up. Now, I think this next boss fight is going to get a bit cheesy. There might be some pepperoni involved. One might say it's a real pizza of a boss fight, if you guys know what I'm saying. Oh, come on, let me out of here. Thank you. Also, the game's going to start getting a lot more ambiance coming up. There you go. I'm going to pick up the health for safekeeping. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Once again, I'm not going to pull a Dead Rising. I'm not dying. And now I get a rundown. Also, do I have my shotgun? Here we go. We're about to hit the next boss fight, and this will be the last time during the run that we actually use the gun, because this boss is really efficient to use the gun. For the rest of the things in the game, we don't really want to use the gun because it's not going to be as efficient. But I can use the gun one more time just to make it fun. But in terms of efficiency, it'll be right here. And this is Eddie. The first part of Eddie, by the way, I actually want to make sure I use the Great Knife to bash him in the skull. So you bash him in the skull, and then I take the gun. Now I'm going to manipulate Eddie by running into the meat a bit. He'll punch the meat instead of me, and I can just keep unloading shotgun shells on him. This is the pattern I want for Eddie, and it'll hurt him a lot. Alright, one more to do it. One more to do it. Alright, Eddie's dead. Really good boss fight, by the way. He kept punching the meat. He kept beating his meat instead of me. And also, if you play the game, there's a lot of imagery there. Anyway, that was the Eddie fight, and we just had to straight up murder him. What we're going to do next is, if you remember this part of the game when you played it, this part is probably the hardest part in the entire game. The boat ride. Really, the boat ride is you hold the top right, or you hold up right, until you see the light. Once you see the light, you just hold up and you're good to go. I remember I think at one point I spent a good half hour on this section. It's even worse on hard mode because you have to control the oars separately. Like one analog stick controls one oar, the other analog stick controls the other oar. It's kind of rough actually, funny enough. But we can just row our boat over here. There we go. A nice little rowboat. A nice little boat. And this is the calm before the storm. The next section is going to be a bit rough. It's not going to be too crazy, but it will have some difficulty in terms of movement. Usually I do a random briefcase thing as well, but I'm not going to do that this time, mainly because this boat ride is taking a bit longer than normal, I think. Maybe I talk a lot during it, I could be wrong. Anyway, there we go. Into the boat. And now up the stairs we go. And I need to gather 3 music boxes here. This entire section is going to be a glorified music box gathering section so I can get a key. So I'm going to grab the Little Mermaid one. The only hint you have is that's Little Mermaid and there's water involved. That's the only way you'd know that. Alright. Well, let's go right now. I'm going to go here. I'm going to grab the fish key, and I am also going to do a little bit of a glitch. It's kind of funny. I can break the cutscene. So I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to shoot the piano. Take that! How dare you play the piano in front of me? It's a little girl, and we shot her. The girl. And I'm going to play it safe, because I haven't really been doing that all that too much. I'm going to run over here. Oh, come on, buddy. Did you really punch me? I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to grab the thinner. Now, the thinner is going to allow me to just know the answer to the puzzle coming up, because it's going to be one of 19 random words, and I don't know which one it is off the top of my head. The only way you know is by using the thinner. It's the way you're intended to do it, but you can actually brute force the puzzle. It takes a lot more effort to do it. If you get it the first time, it's nice, but it's necessary. Also, I'll heal up right now, and then we can use the fish key. Here we go, there's the fish key. Let me get this. The key to hotel room 204. And then we can go over here. And now we can go get the briefcase. And if you guys want to guess the word, feel free to go for it. It's 1 of 19. My guess is it's going to be mama. I have a good feeling it's going to be mama. Can you excuse me, sir? Thank you. I have a good feeling it's going to be mama. I could be wrong. Also, grab the key here. And let's use the out of bounds paint thinner. Or the paint thinner. There it is. And mama, is it mama? Null. Alright, so now we know. It's going to be null. And null. There we go. Not bad. And we got the Cinderella box. And that's a little wait, I can actually run around. What am I doing? It prevents me from having to go around the bed frames here. Also, if you're wondering about these bed frames, the bed frame's actually a smaller version of the boss that we skipped. Because, you know, as you remember, we skipped a boss earlier, and the boss was actually just the bed frame. It was a large version of that called Abstract Daddy. Oh, come on. There we go. And I need to do this as well. Run here. The other reason telling me I'm too fat, and I need to put all of my items on the elevator. All of them. So I'm going to put this. We're going to put everything on the elevator. All of our items on our elevator. All of our items on the elevator. There we go, guys. The first time I did this puzzle, like, I didn't know they literally meant everything, but they meant literally everything, guys. As you saw there, I put everything on the elevator. Also, I'm just going to run out of the elevator, because why not? Hey, guys, how's it going? I can run back in. Hey. Run through the walls. How's it going? I'll say peekaboo. Peekaboo. And then it opens. That's really just a cutscene. Again, if you hit the save, quick save, you can actually just run through the elevator. It doesn't really add much, but it's kind of funny. And I enjoy doing it. Alright, now we have to gather a few more things. We have to get a can opener and a videotape because we want to watch, you know, the glorious days of VHS. I don't know how many of you guys here remember VHS videotapes, but if you do, you'll know how this puzzle works. You have to put it in a VCR. Remember, VHS. My God. I remember how terrible the days of VHS were. We're in a better time now, guys. We're in the good times now. I want you all to understand this. We're in the good times now. If you think that, like, people always talk about nostalgia, those people didn't have to deal with VHS, so they don't remember the pain of VHS. VHS sucked. Also, you know what sucks? Eggs. Eggs also sucks. And we got a light bulb out of it, though. That's nice. Here we go. But since we have none of our items, I'm going to actually just go over here. And, there we go. I'm going to use the light bulb to open the door. Because you need light in order to actually open a lot of the doors here. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to open the doors. But now we can gather all our stuff back. And it's just a quick run up the stairs. Here we go. Up we go. And we'll get back all of our items. Because now we can solve the music box puzzle and we will be good to go. These guys also, really? They spawn here for like one brief moment. We get back our stuff. I'm going to grab a couple more health drinks, or one more health drink just because. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And now we can go do this. There's not going to be any more enemies for a good chunk of time, but we are hitting my favorite part of the game by far. And let's use this, Cinderella. We're going to use Snow White's. Hopefully I did this right. I should have. Alright, let's go. We did. I can also quick save for a little bit of momentum, and now I can go here. And now I got the key, and we are hitting the end game, guys. The end game is by far my favorite part of the game. There's one more risky boss fight, but I'm prepared for it. This is probably the thing I practice the most, because it's the whole reason I like doing normal, and it's really the whole reason I recommend this category to people. Because you get the full front of everything. Also, we get the big twist. The big twist of the game is somebody in the world owns a VHS player. That's the twist of Silent Hill. There is still a VHS. They have not moved forward. Quite sad, really. Truly a sad thing. Anyway, I absolutely love this part of the game. Like, every time I play it, I still can't get over it. Just such a great section. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about it. And most part, we're going to be running through these doors. There's not really too much to do in terms of movement. A lot of Silent Hill is a door simulator. The combat is fun when it comes up. And the movement's also really fun, especially in Silent Hill 2. But I can't deny that a lot of what we do is running through rows. There we go. And let's keep going. Let's run. And for safety purposes, I'm going to grab all of the health drinks. All of them. Because if I get hit, that is going to be painful. We don't need any ammo, because once again, I'm playing it a specific route. I want a specific item to help me out. Also, buddy, can you move? Thank you. He pardoned me. What a nice guy. Also, there's a bunch of fire. I'm just going to ignore it and then run forward. That's all you have to do to avoid fire. Just remember, it's not your problem. Run away. And then we can run through here. Again, one of the best parts of the game by far. Like, just look at the hotel here. And now it's covered in chains. Also, these guys are back. They can poke me through the ground, and I really don't want them to, but they can. Also, for safety purposes, we'll make a quick save right here. I'll heal up, and I want to get the great knife out, and I actually also want to go to the rotational style. This is the one time I use tank controls in this game. Let's go, guys. Boss time. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. So this is the strategy. I want to make sure I keep attacking them, because I can keep interrupting their hits. And they'll also attack each other. So about a decent chunk of these hits on them, and they'll do enough damage to fully kill them. And the one on the right's not going to hit me. This is actually a perfect fight, by the way, if you guys are wondering. He's not going to attack me again. And that was a perfect Pyramid Head fight. I literally could not have done better. Alright, there we go. Let's run. And we are nearing the final boss as well. And time will actually be on the end screen menu, so it's pretty easy to see. This is pretty good right now. Alright, got the Scarlet Egg. We are going to put in the other egg as well. That was an extremely good Pyramid Head fight, by the way. Again, this isn't Isabella. It's not a motorcycle running me down and juggling me. I feel pretty good on this game. Let's hope the next fight's just as good. We also have amazing speech. And honestly, I don't want any damn flowers, guys.
James.
I brought you some flowers.
I don't want any damn flowers.
Want any damn
And that's her running down this aisle, because she rejected my flowers. How could
what
she?
Are you saying?
Look. I'm disgusted.
I mean, I can relate to that a bit. I don't think I deserve flowers either after my Dead Rising run. Like, oof. Also, this is the one time in the game you get to see a crazy man run upstairs. So we're just going to strafe up the stairs like this because it's funny. And also, it's faster to strafe up the stairs. For some reason, they programmed it to if you run up the stairs, you get little stops and pauses in between. It's supposed to be symbolic or something, but they never accounted for you strafing up the stairs. So it's faster just to strafe up like this. It's also funny in the other parts of the game, you're just strafing up the stairs and it gets kind of like, it's just a crazy dude walking upstairs. Woo! And what ending did I get? I got Likely to Leave. This is the final boss fight. I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to use the Great Knife. It's about 5 hits. Okay, that's good. Stay about this phase. 2. 3. That's been unfortunate. Don't hit me. 4. One more ought to do it. Boom. Alright, we'll get the gun out. Shotgun. Alright, guys, we're about to hit time, by the way. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and time. In a 46:45. A 46:45 is a really good time for a marathon. That's a very good marathon time, by the way. That's extremely good. I am very happy with that time. And that is much better than my Dead Rising time. And that was Silent Hill 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Depending on how far ahead we are, I can show you guys the out of bounds, but I definitely hope you guys enjoyed it. We ended with the shot fire, because I think that is necessary. But, yeah, that was Silent Hill 2. Definitely check out the entire community. Recently, the Silent Hill 3 randomizer came out, and a lot of the Silent Hill runners, all the games are very different. They're all very good, and they're just a blast to play. If you've never played them, I definitely recommend it. I have no idea if I PB'd or not. Let me do a quick check. I don't know if I did. I think my PB was out 44. I could be wrong. 45, 44. I have a 46. I could have 30 more seconds. I could have had PB out of 46-14. So I was off my PB by about 30 seconds. In comparison to Dead Rising, that was very good. All right, I'll show the out of bounds really quick and kind of give it just a few. Also, let me load. Let me do this. That being said, let's go here. I'll show you guys the out of bounds. Hopefully, I can get it. It is rather tough. I'm not the best at it, and it's really easier if you have a controller. But we'll go right here. But yeah, I did really good during that run, and I'm happy I can show that off for you guys. Again, I did a lot of work for this game in particular, so I feel very proud of this. My Dead Rising time, I just regret not working more on, but this, I feel very good. Anyway, before I do more talking, also, if you like what you saw, I'm Ecdycis. I do exclusively horror games. If you're wondering why did I do 3 different games, they're all spooky games, something I like representing horror games. Anyway, as you're going right now, the out of bounds is... What this skips is, if you remember the whole part with the paint thinner, this skips just kind of going... Actually, if you remember the employee elevator where we had to give away all our weapons, this skips that part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it too dark to read the map, and I'm going to run up these stairs. And by going up here, I can start going down over here, and I'm going to try going into this wall. But the thing is, it will kick me out a few times. It's much easier to get if you have a controller, but I'm doing this on keyboard, so it's not the easiest trick in the world. So let's see how many times it takes me to get. If it takes like 10 times, I'll just show you the aftermath. And also, like, you just do that. It's kind of easier a bit to do if you go forward, but we should be able to get it. Okay, let's go this way. Close, almost there. Okay, let's walk here, up here, and then down here, over here, almost there. And this skip is I didn't do it during the run because it's really not worth doing it if you can't get it. If you can't get it within like the first 2 tries, it's not worth the time it saves. Because what I'm trying to do is get inside this lower wall right here. Up here is the first floor. I want to make it down to the second floor. Or the ground floor, the basement floor. That's actually the way it works. So I can actually do this. And then I can run over here. And now we're out of bounds. But where does out of bounds leave me? We'll see in a brief moment. We'll keep running. We'll keep running. We'll also get loads in between. That's how you know we're doing it right. We'll keep running. We're running out of bounds right now. And I should see the bar. Oh, there's the bar. And the out of bounds actually leads me over here. And we fall into the bar. Hey, how may I help you guys? You want some alcohol? Want some good service? Now, things we could do in the bar while we're here. You actually can't open the door because it's locked. And you only can unlock it if you have this. That's the only... Well, watch. I'll get the light bulb and we can unlock it again. But that's the only way you can unlock it. There's actually... I do a modified version of it as well, because where the skip actually wants you to go is to this room over here. And the room you want to go to is all the way over here. You want to go to this room for a reason, because then you can run in and out. You run back here. And you want to go here because we go straight here. And by going straight here, you can just do everything in terms of this part. And you go here, get the videotape again. And that's how that works for the most part. And this is just another way on how the game is able to be broken with all that. You know what? I'll do one more thing as well, since I do have the time. I'll show one more area that we can go to, because if I can get it, it would be funny. But I'm not going to try for too long. I'll just start immediately on the wall. I have a save that I did practice this. So I'm going to keep running. And you can actually load some secret rooms if you run far enough. So you guys remember last time we ran, I found the bar. Now, I don't want to go to the bar this time. I'm just going to keep running forward, and we're going to see how far it leads me. Here's the bar. But I'm going to keep running forward instead. Just straight forward. And we'll keep running down until we find another set of rooms. You can also see James in the, the shadow realm, essentially. And we'll see a few loads here. If you see loads, that means you're kind of just walking into a different area entirely. It's the game effectively loading it. And this is, one of the major things of breaking. I can't remember how far down we need to go. but it's decently far down. We can actually find assets to an entire another game mode that you don't normally see, if I can find it. But I can't remember exactly where it is. I want to say you just keep running down and you eventually find it. Oh, there we go. Funny enough, I found the, I found something there. I'll just keep running. Oh, here we go. Wait, no, this is the, this is the lobby. And you also see a lot of different positionings. We're passing by a lot of rooms. And we're just going to keep running until I can find the room. I think it's a little bit to the right. I don't want to go on for too long here, but I'll give it a few more attempts. Well, at least one more room find. We should be able to find one more room by going through this, because a lot of the areas are loaded in. And just, if you go out of bounds, you can somehow manage to find all of them. And it's not really worth it to go anywhere else outside that one area. There's actually an easier method of doing the out of bounds. This is probably the way I did it is one of the best methods. It's a bit hard to do it if you don't have a controller. It's a very controller-specific trick. Doing it on keyboard, the entire thing is difficult, and the direction doesn't really work. Because you want to hold down a certain direction the entire time. Meanwhile, this, I could be going any direction. I'm just going left and right. Normally, the keyboard doesn't let you run, like, just perfectly straight. Anyway, from the void, this has been Silent Hill. I'm just going to play with the Great Knife a bit. There we go. That being said, if you guys enjoy the run, definitely feel free to shoot a follow, check out all the stuff. I enjoy doing my 3 runs for you guys. I definitely watched the next runner and all that stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let's go back to the main menu here. Alright. And hopefully I should be cut at some point soon.